March 15th, 1767. A sir by the name of Andrew Jackson was born in a unknown at the time place in between the Carolinas. Like, they're not even sure if it was north or south at this point. So, there. He was actually born into a poor family and only received sporadic education as a youngster. But by his late teens was able to read law and actually became a bright young lawyer in the state of Tennessee. Old Hickory Jackson was actually the only president to not, with the power of the law behind them and, the government, kill a man. See, one other president actually was an executioner before they became president, so they killed people legally. And, they only did it twice, so. But Andrew Jackson killed a man in a duel because he said some shit about his wife. Shocker. Jealous motherfucker. So, at the age of 13, Andrew Jackson was actually captured and mistreated by the British Army during the Revolutionary War. Yeah, bet you didn't know that. Huh. Bet you also didn't know that Andrew Jackson technically was not president during the Trail of Tears. It was his successor, Martin Van Buren, who actually acted out the Trail of Tears, though it was something that Jackson was totally a fan of, because he actually had started to take away some land from the natives in Georgia and other southern areas to give way for the white man's land. So after he rose up in wealth, mainly wealth, he was able to buy a mansion with a shit ton of slaves, which, at the time was a thing. He actually joined the War of 1812 and became a general and a national hero when he defeated the British in New Orleans, Louisiana, in case you didn't know that. If you don't, you're dumb. Jackson actually had 10 children, which even I didn't know. I thought the only president that had that many children was John Tyler, who had 15. Still more. But that was, I guess, not as weird back in the day, obviously, because a lot of people died young since they didn't have shit like penicillin that keeps us all alive. He actually also got rid of his entire cabinet minus one person because of this thing called the Petticoat Affair. And the Petticoat Affair was basically John C. Calhoun, his original vice president before Martin Van Buren, accused someone else's wife. I think it was somebody named Eaton, his last name was Eaton. And so basically after that, Jackson just got pissed and fired everyone, because that's what you can do when you're president. You don't have to give a fuck about people, right? Right? Ha 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 ha. John C. Calhoun rejected the nomination of Martin Van Buren as the Minister of England. Jackson jumped to his feet and exclaimed, "By the Eternal, I'll smash them." And then Van Buren became his vice president and eventual successor after his terms were over. He died in 1845. So hard to find something nice to say about Andrew Jackson. The nicest thing I could say about the guy is he technically wasn't president during the Trail of Tears. He just kind of set it up and told Martin Van Buren to do it. There were actually 3 wars that went on when he was president. The Black Hawk War, the Second Seminole War, and holy shit, and the Second Creek War. Now, there were also 2 states added to the Union during his tenure as president, and honestly, no one gives a fuck about them since they're Arkansas and Michigan. So, I mean, he did really want the annexation of Texas, but now we realize that Texas is kind of shit and we don't want them anymore. So that's kind of the best thing he did in office, and no one really cares. That's my Andrew Jackson video. If you want me to make videos on more presidents that I don't hate as much, they'd probably be better.